Well, good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tori Kuhn. Plus, a sneak peek at the new place where local families can leave their pets while they go on vacations, including the new pool for the doggies to play in. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Chris?
Yeah, it is a busy Monday here on the Now. In our lineup, still a lot of stories unfolding in areas that are seeing catastrophic flooding from Florence. Both people and animals still needing rescue, some trapped, others left behind. Plus, used car sales, they're up with new cars just getting so expensive. So before you buy, we do have some red flags that you want to look out for to make sure you're getting the best deal. Also, when you think about shopping on Amazon, let's face it, you're probably not thinking about helping small businesses, but Amazon's trying to change that. So we're wondering, is it just a way to boost its image, or is it really helping? We're going to get into that.
Thanks, Chris. And tonight I followed along with an undercover operation with the Bakersfield Police Department and the alcohol beverage control officials to showcase just how easy it is for minors to get alcohol in Kern County. Officials say that the operation you are about to see is not about trapping people, but educating people on the problem and the importance of the law. Across town, detectives from the Bakersfield Police Department and alcohol beverage control agents are staking out a parking lot.
Copy, Brian, you back in position, ready to go.
They're using these underage decoys, posting up outside of the Fast Trip gas station to see if adults will purchase alcohol for them.
Hispanic male, gray, long sleeve shirt.
As a man approaches, the decoys make their first move, explaining they are 19 years old and unable to buy alcohol themselves and want help getting a 3-pack of Bud Light. Detectives communicate over the wire to identify what's transpiring between the decoys and the people they approach.
Well, it looks like they just made contact with one and he took the money.
The decoys wait to see if the man will follow through with his promise, while officials prepare a citation approach upon the exchange.
All right, you needed it off. Contact guys move in. Walking to the south.
Alcohol beverage control officials move in on the man in the parking lot, citing him with a fine that can range anywhere from $200 to $1,000.
First person they contacted bought for him. That definitely illustrates the problem that we have is it's just that easy for juveniles to sometimes acquire alcohol from a total stranger.
Officials say this operation is intended to combat the number of underage drinkers and youth intoxicated drivers, saying they see several accidents in correlation to this type of drinking each year in Kern County. The Center for Disease Control also recording over 4,300 alcohol-related deaths among minors each year across the United States.
It's absolutely refreshing when you see the stores come out and talk to the decoys and tell them that they can't stay, make them stop. It's refreshing when we get the citizens that some of them will give the kids a lecture and talk to them like they were talking to their own kid about why they shouldn't be doing this. And that's exactly what we would like to see.
They asked me if I can get a 3-pack of beer for them. I say no. I say no because I got kids. I got my kids and I don't want them to requesting the same thing like these kids did to me.
Detectives chose this store randomly, but sometimes officials have reason to believe this activity is taking place and will choose a store based off that. In the first 40 minutes of the operation, 3 people agreed to buy decoys alcohol and were cited. This man also cited by officials after helping the decoys had methamphetamine and a warrant out for his arrest. 11 others were simply cited and released over the course of the night. The shoulder tap operation made possible by the ABC app grant.
And what it does, it's $3 million that we give out to local agencies to basically give them opportunity to focus on their ABC licenses and their ABC problems.
80 to 100 local agencies across the state of California receiving allocated funds from the AP grant to make operations like this possible at the local level. In hopes of spreading awareness and letting businesses know at any time officials may be conducting surveillance like this to combat the issue in Kern County. Officials say they hope that by showing this operation to the public, it encourages adults to uphold the law in Kern County and that businesses continue to practice ethical judgment in regards to minors. For more information on this story, head to our website, turnto23.com.
And looking ahead to tomorrow, the California Highway Patrol is holding an Age Well, Drive Smart class to help older drivers stay safe and drive longer. Officials will discuss important issues like safe driving habits, consequences of poor choices behind the wheel, and tips on how to avoid a crash. The class is 2 hours long, free to attend, and intended for seniors 65 and over. It's happening at the Bakersfield CHP office at 9 tomorrow morning, and if you would like to sign up, call the number on your screen. And this next story is awesome. A local pet boarding service opened its doors this weekend to give a behind-the-scenes look at the extended facility. Fur and Feathers Luxury Pet Resort held an open house yesterday from 3 to 5 p.m. They were showing off the new Aquatic Fitness Center, which is a place just for dogs who love paddling and splashing in the water. Everyone also got a chance to check out different parts of the Fur and Feathers Resort. And for more information on the new fitness center, head to our website, turnto23.com. Chris?
I have some new updates here on the impact from Florence. The Red Cross saying they have more than 15,000 people in shelters in 3 states. Bulk of that in North Carolina, where the situation getting more urgent. People continuing to come in, escaping rising floodwaters. But rescues still happening today, really for some animals left behind. The Now's Kamasi Aaron talking to the Humane Society about their rescues and what happens next.
This was a moment this pup knew everything would be okay. It was just one of the dogs PETA's emergency rescue team stumbled upon in North Carolina. They found chickens there too, trapped in pens, surrounded by Florence's floodwater, unable to escape. And this video shows a South Carolina National Guard soldier trying to coax this dog from out of a garage. Rescues like these are taking place all across the Carolinas.
It's like, here's my dog, I have to get into your truck, I have to get into your boat.
Shada Varsha is with the Humane Society of the United States. They're working in 2 Carolina communities and so far have placed nearly 300 rescued animals in shelters.
They're saying, listen, I feel like I want to make sure my animals are in a safe position, so can you come and help us put them in that? Put them in a safe position while the floodwaters rise.
They'll wait a while before putting pets they found without owners up for adoption. But Varsha says they are working to place the 400 pets moved from local shelters to make room for these in homes right now.
They are going to celebrate that those animals are there and offer adoption events, and that's all over Maryland, Virginia, Tennessee.
While some scenes like these are inevitable, Varsha says many are preventable.
This is very serious. Take it seriously. Make a plan for your pets. Take them with you.
And if you can't, she says make sure they're free and safe. For the Now, I'm Kamasi Aaron.
Kamasi, thank you. Let's check back to our lineup here. And used car sales are up because new cars, they're just so expensive these days. But before you buy, we have some red flags that you need to look out for. Make sure you're getting the best deal. That's when the Now continues. Let's get to some important stories here in the Now News feed. And Pope Francis has expelled a priest in Chile over the church sex abuse scandal. And this move thought to be the first in the modern day history of the church. Every bishop in that country has offered to step down over the scandal. Could cannabis soon be in Coke? The company is showing interest in cannabis-infused drinks. Coke may use CBD oil, which is derived from marijuana. They think it could soon be used in more wellness drinks that you see. Well, here is something to think about when you buy cleaners at the store. They could be making children overweight by altering bacteria found in their bodies. Now, this is from the Canadian Medical Association Journal. Study finding that children whose homes have those cleaners at 3 to 4 months old, they're more likely to have a bacteria that is tied to higher BMI. Many of you looking to help victims of Florence, and here's what the Red Cross says they need and don't need. First off, cash donations are the best, so you can text or go online to give to the Red Cross. Blood donations also huge right now. Florence actually forced the Red Cross to cancel more than 150 blood drives. Volunteering, very important, but they say don't just drive and show up. That doesn't really help. You need to go to the Red Cross website or nvoad.org. That way you can get hooked up with the volunteer organization that is working in the disaster areas. Also, while supply drives, they are popular after big disasters, the Red Cross says unless the items are in bulk or on pallets, just hold off for now. Donating things like clothes, bedding, baby stuff, all of that needs to be cleaned, sorted, separated, and that does take a lot of work and diverts resources. Now, the Red Cross is saying the city of Lumberton is one of the most critical areas, partly because it was still recovering from the flooding it got from Hurricane Matthew. Well, the Now's Chris Welch is there finding out why people didn't leave after they already went through something similar before.
How you guys doing?
The Coast Guard's Daniel Paz has seen moments like this play out dozens of times.
We just try to tell them, hey, the water's coming up still.
He's helped rescue over 20 residents from right here in Lumberton's Mayfair neighborhood since floodwaters got worse on Sunday. That's thanks in large part to a breach in a makeshift levee across town. And no, this is not video of a river overflowing its banks.
This is a railroad and a street that goes here. So this is all, typically, this should all be perfectly dry.
But dry was not a word that came to mind as the Coast Guard took us around while they conducted welfare checks in one of the hardest hit areas.
They've been going through and looking for people who need to leave, want to leave. The incredible thing that we've discovered through talking to people over here is a lot of people are still not leaving, and they say they won't until it gets even worse.
I don't think it's going to get in the house.
Does it ever make you nervous not to evacuate in a situation like this?
Well, yeah. I mean, you keep second guessing yourself, but it's, what are you going to do?
People just think they're safe. They think they've been through one flood, they're going to make it through all floods.
Especially after Hurricane Matthew did so much damage just 2 years ago.
We never expected to ever see this in our lifetime again.
This, they say, is even worse.
We're heartbroken, to say the least. Our hearts are broken.
Reporting for The Now in Lumberton, North Carolina, I'm Chris Welch.
Well, changes in safety standards have led to a steep drop in the number of baby injuries, but is it enough? A study published in the Journal of Pediatrics says that more than 9,000 U.S. children are still injured every year while using these devices. More than 90% of the incidents led to neck or head injuries, the most common cause, falling down the stairs. The American Academy of Pediatrics is now calling for a ban on baby walkers with wheels. They suggest parents use walkers that don't give young children such range of motion. And we are still weeks away from October, but it's already Halloween time at Disneyland Resort. Fall is not yet in the air, but at Disneyland, Halloween is sweeping through the parks. You'll be able to see the creative holiday touches so many fans plan their visits around. In Cars Land, the creepy crawlers appropriately come with a mechanical twist, and traffic cones conjure up thrills as they tower overhead.
I've been coming here since I was a little girl, but we've only recently been able to come during the Halloween season. And I mean, you can't beat it. It's so fun and fallish.
And even the treats come with a Halloween trick or treat or two. From these ghoulish green churros to chocolate-dipped marshmallow mummies, the Magic Kingdom is once again casting its holiday spell on visitors. And we're going to check in with the Now's Allison Gargaro to see just how magical the weather is starting to feel outside. Check that out, Allison.
It's just been a beautiful afternoon. Temperatures definitely feeling like fall. And speaking of Halloween, it's actually 44 days away, so we can do it. Fall now just 5 days away. So we're looking at a high of 86 degrees here in Bakersfield, and that is below seasonal, which is at 90 for this time of year. But we did feel a nice breeze, especially earlier this afternoon in our mountain and desert cities. Gusts nearing 30 miles per hour, especially in the desert. And that is ahead of this low pressure system that we've been tracking. That's pushing this fresh air on shore, and it is going to be feeling great out there again tomorrow. We'll have another day of moderate air quality with an AQI of 67. So that's a few points worse than what we were seeing today, but you're still going to be able to see the mountains from right here in Bakersfield. But tomorrow, temperatures are going to be very similar to what we were feeling today. 85 as a high in Bakersfield, 86 up in the Kern River Valley, and in those upper 70s in the South Mountains. But the 80s sticking around for 2 more days, just in time for the first day of the Kern County Fair, which is on Wednesday. We'll have a high of 86 degrees, and then the 90s are back. The warmest day of the week actually going to be on Friday, and the first day of fall on Saturday. So the 90s just continuing through Sunday, and then we right back to the mid-80s just in time for the start of next week. The Now Bakersfield will be right back.
Now, buying a car is obviously a huge financial decision. This is the average price of a used car these days, $20,000 according to Kelley Blue Book. Now, if making this big purchase is on your radar, now Andy Taylor met with a used car buying expert about what you need to look out for.
Listen, I'm the first one to tell you I am no car expert, but if you're considering buying a used car, guess what? You don't have to be a car guru to know when you're getting the best deal.
Well, before I would even show up to look at a car, I would get the VIN number and pull a Carfax, get your history. You don't even want to waste your time to go see a vehicle that you know has been in a terrible accident.
Miles Philpy buys and sells used cars for a living. Once you pulled the Carfax on the car to check if it's been in any major accidents, it's time now to do your own inspection.
First time let's say we're looking at this car. The first time you come look at a vehicle, I do a quick walk around on it. It's obvious something's happened right here.
With a quick walk around the car, you'll be able to see any dents, nicks, scratches, and if the car's ever been painted after an accident.
And you can see on this car, see how this panel is really a white color and this was kind of gray?
Yeah.
I would say the back bumper on this car has been completely repainted.
And the more factory stickers you see on parts of the car, the better. For example, a sticker found on the door means it's the original door.
So you see the VIN tag right here on the fenders in the front?
Uh-huh.
That's good to see.
You ever wonder how many miles is too many miles on a used car for you not to buy it? Well, Miles suggests not focusing so much on the mileage, but considering other things. Take a look at the tires. If they're thinning and balding, well, that means they're not taking good care of the vehicle. Also, consider how clean is the car, or should I say, how dirty is the car. That shows how they maintain it. And if it's dirty, clearly they're not maintaining it well.
You always want to drive the car, and you can tell a lot by, turn the car on, listen to the motor. It's going to sound like a sewing machine, basically. If it doesn't, there's probably some issues.
Taking a good look under the hood, both figuratively and literally, Miles says is imperative before buying a used car.
Probably going to be your most expensive purchase next to buying a house.
For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.
Annie, thank you. Let's get to some new information we have in the Now news feed. Scientists believe they have found a direct impact of air pollution on pregnant women. They looked at the placentas of 5 women and found air pollution particles. This is the first example of pollution going through a woman's lungs and potentially reaching her child. Actor Richard Gere going to be a father again at 69 years old. His wife making the announcement on Instagram. She posted a pic of the Dalai Lama blessing her. Gere has 3 other kids already. Well, a teenager doing the right thing in California, a Santa Barbara high schooler found a purse, middle of the road as he was driving home from school. Look at what he found inside, 10 grand. Yeah, the owner's ID was also there. He turned it over to the authorities. Let's get back to our lineup and what Amazon is doing new for small businesses, promising to promote them more. Now, is this just a way for Amazon to promote its image? Or is it really helping businesses? We're going to get into that. You're watching The Now. Well, you probably don't think small businesses when you think Amazon, but Amazon's trying to change that with the launch of what it calls storefronts. The Now's Annie Taylor checking into whether this works and if businesses will actually benefit.
First off, the storefronts will actually be the front page of Amazon's website, so it's super easy to see the goods and click on them to shop. But here's what the page really looks like. It will showcase everything from back-to-school items to home goods from over 20,000 small businesses nationwide. To support the launch, Amazon is broadcasting its first ever national TV commercial with small businesses like the Little Flower Soap Company.
This is the Little Flower Soap Company. These are the owners, Holly and Justin.
We're also married.
I actually spoke with Holly Rutt, the founder of the Little Flower Soap Company, and asked how much Amazon charges them to sell their goods and is it financially worth it for a small business?
We've just experienced, so much growth. We've been hiring. We've doubled the size of our team. We've doubled our sales since we joined Amazon Handmade in 2016. Ours is $30 a month to participate, well worth the price of admission. And then, for every sale, you're going to give them a little percentage, which helps them keep that platform running smoothly.
Holly told me that Amazon sometimes gets a bad rap, especially when it comes to people feeling like they take away businesses or business from mom and pop shops. But she says it's the opposite. Amazon helps with growth and helps them reach people she never would have been able to all on her own. Another small business we've talked with who wasn't featured says that Amazon's fees are higher than eBay, but that it's still worth it for the service you get.
Good info there, Annie. Thank you. And a growing number of Americans are redefining what retirement really looks like. Recent studies show a record number are working and caring for at least one other person beyond the age of 65. And tomorrow on The Now, we want you to meet a woman nearing retirement age, caring for multiple generations under one roof.
And coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11, a family in need of support found it, and a whole lot of holiday spirit from friends in their hometown and all over the world. How and why Christmas came early from one Ohio family. Again, that's tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. And temperatures are also looking like a miracle outside, right?
It is feeling so nice this afternoon. Bakersfield had a high of 86 degrees and we're still hanging out in the low 80s this afternoon, already down to 57 degrees in Pine Mountain Club. But these 80s will be sticking around for the first day of the Kern County Fair, which begins on Wednesday. Doors open at 3 p.m. 86 degrees as a high, but a warming trend does begin on Thursday. So we're going to be up to 91 degrees by Thursday, and the first day of fall actually on Saturday, right around seasonal. So it's going to be just beautiful.
Oh, well, that sounds awesome. And that's going to do it for us here on the Now Bakersfield.